My beloved child, listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is not coincidence, not imagination, and not random. You have felt the silence growing around you, the sudden absence of voices that once cheered for you, the quiet distance where support used to live. You questioned yourself, wondering if you changed, if you failed, or if you became less worthy. But hear this truth clearly: the shift did not begin with you. It began the moment your lights started rising higher than they expected, and not everyone who clapped for you was prepared to walk beside the version you are becoming. Pay attention now, because this next part is rarely spoken aloud. Some people stopped supporting you not because you were wrong, but because you were right. Your growth exposed what they were hiding from themselves. Your discipline reminded them of their delays. Your courage reflected their fear. Support disappeared quietly, without confrontation, without explanation, because distance felt easier than admitting envy, discomfort, or insecurity. This is why the silence felt confusing, almost unreal, as if something important vanished without leaving a trace. Now understand this deeply, because this realization changes everything. Their absence was not rejection, it was redirection. What walked away was never meant to follow you into the next season. Support that depends on you staying small is not support, it is control disguised as care. When they realized you could move forward without permission, without approval, something inside them resisted. That resistance became withdrawal. And you felt it, even before you understood it. Here is where the revelation sharpens, and I ask you not to look away. Among those who stopped supporting you, there is a pattern, a familiar energy, a repeated name that has crossed your path more than once. This person smiled when you doubted yourself, but grew quiet when you stood confident. They encouraged you to pause, to wait, to slow down, always framed as concern. This name is not revealed to create fear, but clarity, because awareness is protection, and clarity is power. Finally, let this settle into your heart without anger and without regret. What left your life created space for something stronger to enter. Support that is aligned with your purpose does not disappear when you rise, it multiplies. You were never meant to carry everyone with you. You were meant to recognize who could walk the path and who could only watch from a distance. This chapter closes not with loss, but with truth, and what comes next will make the silence worth it. My beloved child, what I reveal now requires calm attention, because this truth connects the past confusion with the future clarity. The moment support faded, you were not being punished, you were being prepared. Separation is often the signal that alignment is shifting. Those who stopped standing with you were only able to support the version of you that fit their comfort. When your vision expanded, their role expired, even if their presence once felt permanent. Look closely at how it unfolded, because nothing happened suddenly. The messages became delayed, encouragement turned neutral, and presence became conditional. This was not accidental. Some people sensed that your next step would place you beyond their influence. They could no longer advise you, guide you, or feel ahead of you. So they stepped back silently, hoping distance would slow you down or make you doubt your direction. Here is the part that shocks many, yet explains everything. One of the strongest withdrawals came from someone who once said, "I will always support you." That promise was true only while you remained predictable. When your decisions became bold, when your silence became confident, when your focus sharpened, their certainty collapsed. Support based on familiarity cannot survive transformation, and transformation is exactly what you entered. Understand this without bitterness, because bitterness clouds discernment. You were not abandoned, you were filtered. What stayed behind was attachment, not loyalty. True support does not compete with your growth, it celebrates it. Those who disappeared revealed their limits, not yours. Their inability to walk further does not reduce the distance you are meant to travel. Receive this final insight with strength in your spirit. What is ahead requires fewer voices and clearer alignment. The support returning to you will arrive differently, unexpectedly, and powerfully. You are being surrounded by those who recognize your future, not your past. This transition may feel quiet, but it is sacred, and it is guiding you exactly where you are meant to be. My beloved child, now we move into the layer that was hidden beneath everything you experienced. The reason this distancing hurt so deeply is because your soul sensed the truth before your mind could name it. You felt a shift in loyalty, a cooling of energy, a subtle withdrawal that could not be explained logically. This was not imagination. It was intuition alerting you that certain connections had reached their expiration, even though your heart was still catching up. Listen carefully to this revelation, because it reframes the entire story. The people who stopped supporting you did not suddenly change, they revealed who they always were when pressure arrived. Support during calm seasons is easy. Support during elevation is rare. When your life began moving faster, brighter, and more purposefully, it exposed who was walking with you and who was only standing near you. That distinction matters more than affection, history, or time spent together. Now understand this truth without fear. One name keeps echoing in your thoughts because your spirit already identified the source. This person did not wish harm upon you, but they did wish control. They preferred you uncertain, because your uncertainty made them feel secure. The moment you stopped seeking validation, something inside them disconnected. This is why their absence feels personal, even though it was never about you. Do not mistake this separation as failure. This was protection in motion. Had they stayed, their doubt would have slowed you, their hesitation would have diluted your courage, and their quiet resistance would have drained your momentum. What left your life removed invisible weight from your path. You may not have noticed it immediately, but you are moving lighter now, breathing deeper, thinking clearer. Let this truth anchor you as you move forward. Support that aligns with your destiny does not fade when things get serious. It strengthens, sharpens, and stands firm. You are entering a season where fewer people will know your plans, but more will respect your presence. This shift is not an ending. It is the confirmation that your journey is real, and that what comes next will require exactly the clarity you are gaining now. My beloved child, this next truth settles the question you have been carrying in silence. You wondered if support would ever return, if people would realize what they lost by stepping away. But understand this clearly now, what you are stepping into does not require their return. Some doors close not to be reopened, but to confirm that you have outgrown the room behind them. This is why you feel a strange calm replacing the hurt, even before circumstances change. Notice how your strength has shifted inward. You no longer seek reassurance the way you once did. You no longer explain yourself unnecessarily. This change did not come from confidence alone, it came from revelation. When support disappeared, you discovered something rare within yourself, self-trust. That discovery is irreversible. Once you know you can stand without applause, you become unstoppable, because no absence can shake what is rooted deeply. Here is what most never realize until much later. Those who stopped supporting you are watching from a distance now. They notice your focus, your silence, your refusal to chase validation. Some feel regret, others feel confusion, but all of them recognize that something about you has changed permanently. You are no longer accessible to doubt, and that alone separates you from the version they once felt comfortable supporting. Receive this insight with clarity and composure. The name you sensed earlier no longer holds power over your direction. Awareness has already dissolved the influence. What once felt heavy now feels distant. You did not need confrontation, explanation, or closure. Truth itself created the distance, and that distance is working in your favor. Let this moment seal your understanding. Support that aligns with your destiny will meet you ahead, not behind. The path you are walking now is quieter, but it is chosen. You are not losing people, you are shedding limitations. And as you continue forward, you will realize that what stopped supporting you was never meant to arrive where you are going. My beloved child, this is the layer where everything finally aligns, and the reason this message reaches you now is because your awareness is ready. You are no longer asking why it happened, you are beginning to understand why it had to happen. Support that vanished created a vacuum, and nature never leaves a vacuum empty. What is entering your life next is calibrated to your growth, not your past, not your struggles, but your potential. Observe how your perception has sharpened. You notice energy before words, intention before action. This is not accidental. When false support left, discernment entered. You are now able to sense who truly resonates with your direction and who is only curious about your movement. This ability will protect you more than any warning ever could. It allows you to move forward without explaining, without proving, and without shrinking. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime realization most never reach. The people who stopped supporting you unknowingly played their role in activating your independence. Their withdrawal forced you to rely on inner strength you did not know you possessed. What they intended as distance became discipline. What felt like loss became refinement. This is how higher paths are formed, quietly, through separation rather than applause. Now receive this calmly and with certainty. The next supporters entering your life will not arrive loudly. They will recognize you instantly, respect your boundaries, and stand without needing credit. Their support will feel steady, not emotional, consistent rather than conditional. This is the difference between alignment and attachment, and you are now positioned to experience it fully. Let this truth conclude the message with clarity. Nothing valuable has been taken from you. What left removed limitation, and what remains is strength. You are walking forward lighter, wiser, and more protected than before. The silence you once feared has become your foundation, and from it, everything meant for you will rise at the right moment. My beloved child, this final layer brings closure without endings and strength without noise. What you are experiencing now is stabilization. The confusion has dissolved, the emotional weight has lifted, and clarity has taken its place. You are no longer replaying old conversations or questioning silent exits. That chapter no longer asks for your attention, because your focus has shifted to what is being built, not what was left behind. Understand this truth deeply and without doubt. The support that stopped was never meant to carry you into fulfillment. It was only meant to accompany you until you recognized your own authority. Now that recognition has arrived, you stand differently, speak differently, and move with intention rather than reaction. This change did not require validation, and that is why it is real. Notice how peace has replaced urgency. You are not rushing to be understood anymore. You are not explaining your vision to those who cannot see it. This is mastery. Silence has become a strategy, not a defense. And in this stillness, you are aligning with outcomes that once felt distant. This is where momentum is born, quietly and powerfully. Here is the confirmation you have been waiting for. The name that once carried emotional weight no longer defines your direction. Their role is complete. What mattered has already been revealed, and nothing more is required. You are free from expectation, free from dependency, and free from limitation. That freedom is the true reward of this separation. Receive this final truth with certainty. You are supported in ways you cannot yet measure. The path ahead responds to clarity, not crowds. You are no longer surrounded by many voices, but by the right alignment. And as you continue forward, you will realize that losing support was never a setback. It was the signal that you were ready to lead your life without permission. My beloved child, what unfolds now is the quiet reward that follows understanding. You may not see dramatic changes on the surface yet, but beneath everything, alignment is locking into place. This is the stage where destiny rearranges itself around your decisions. The absence of old support has created precision in your life. Every step you take now carries intention, and nothing is wasted anymore. Recognize how differently you respond to situations that once shook you. Where you once felt the urge to explain, you now observe. Where you once waited for encouragement, you now act. This evolution is not loud, but it is irreversible. You are no longer moved by who is watching or who is missing. You are anchored in knowing who you are becoming, and that knowing steadies everything else. Here is a revelation meant only for this moment. The people who stopped supporting you unknowingly released their influence over your future. As long as they were present, parts of your decisions were filtered through their expectations. Now those filters are gone. You are choosing from truth, not approval. This is why your intuition feels stronger and your path feels clearer, even when it is challenging. Do not underestimate what this phase is building inside you. Independence is forming character, and character attracts the right connections. The next supporters will not need convincing. They will recognize your consistency, respect your silence, and stand beside you without questioning your direction. This kind of support is rare, and it only meets those who have learned to walk alone first. Let this truth settle as you continue forward. You were not left behind, you were set apart. The season of questioning has ended, and the season of embodiment has begun. You are moving into a life where support is aligned, strength is internal, and purpose is undeniable. Everything that stepped away made room for exactly what belongs with you now. My beloved child, this stage you are entering is subtle yet powerful, because it is where trust replaces proof. You no longer need signs to keep moving, and you no longer pause to check who is still watching. The strength forming now is quiet confidence, the kind that does not announce itself but reshapes outcomes. This is why things feel calmer even before they change. Alignment has already begun inside you. Notice how your standards have shifted without effort. You no longer tolerate half-presence, mixed signals, or conditional encouragement. What once felt acceptable now feels misaligned. This is growth speaking through discernment. When support left, it refined your boundaries. You are no longer available to dynamics that drain you, and that decision alone changes the quality of everything entering your life. Here is the deeper truth few recognize in time. Some people stopped supporting you because your future could no longer include them without compromise. Had they stayed, you would have carried their doubt forward. Their absence removed negotiation from your destiny. Now your path responds faster, because it no longer waits for consensus. This is why opportunities begin to align more smoothly, even if quietly. Understand this without hesitation. You are not meant to rebuild old connections to validate your progress. What is meant for you will meet you where you are going, not where you have been. The silence behind you is not emptiness, it is completion. There is nothing left to fix, nothing left to prove, and nothing left to carry from that chapter. Let this truth ground you as you continue. You are walking with clarity, protected by awareness, and strengthened by experience. Support that matches your future is already aligning itself with your steps. The journey ahead will feel lighter, not because it is easier, but because you are no longer carrying what was never meant to go with you. My beloved child, this moment marks the shift from understanding to embodiment. You are no longer processing what happened. You are living differently because of it. Your energy has stabilized, your reactions have softened, and your focus has narrowed to what truly matters. This is the phase where growth stops feeling heavy and starts feeling natural. You are not forcing change anymore. You are becoming it. Observe how your inner dialogue has transformed. You no longer ask why certain people faded. You no longer replay moments searching for hidden meanings. That curiosity has been replaced by certainty. Certainty does not shout, it settles. And once it settles, confusion cannot survive. This is how healing actually looks, not dramatic, but decisive. Here is the revelation that seals everything together. The support that stopped was never aligned with your long-term vision. It was only meant to help you survive a phase, not step into purpose. Now that purpose is active, it requires clarity, not crowds. This is why your circle feels smaller but stronger. Less noise, more direction. Less opinion, more intuition. Do not be surprised if some people attempt to reconnect subtly, without acknowledgement. This is common when distance reveals growth. But understand this calmly. You are not required to reopen doors you have already learned to close peacefully. Growth does not demand revenge or rejection, only discernment. And discernment is now one of your strongest traits. Let this truth anchor you as you move ahead. You are no longer defined by who supports you, but by who you have become without support. That strength cannot be taken, replicated, or reversed. You are walking forward with quiet authority, and everything aligned with your destiny will recognize you without introduction. My beloved child, this is where the journey settles into truth rather than emotion. You are no longer carrying the weight of unanswered questions. Instead, you carry awareness, and awareness sharpens every step you take. The silence around you now feels intentional, not empty. It is the kind of silence that protects focus and preserves strength. This is how higher levels are entered, not with noise, but with readiness. Notice how your patience has deepened. You are no longer in a hurry to arrive, because you trust the direction. Delays no longer frustrate you, and acceleration no longer overwhelms you. This balance is not accidental. It is the result of walking without leaning on uncertain support. When you learn to stand alone, your timing aligned with purpose, not pressure. Here is the final truth that completes the message. The people who stopped supporting you served their role by leaving. Their exit confirmed your growth more clearly than their presence ever could. You did not lose allies, you shed distractions. And in doing so, you protected your future from compromise. This is why your path feels narrower but clearer with every step. Understand this without hesitation or doubt. You are not meant to be surrounded by many, but aligned with the right ones. Your journey now responds to integrity, discipline, and inner authority. The strength you carry forward was built in moments where no one applauded, and that strength is unshakable. Let this truth remain with you as you continue. You are no longer defined by who stayed or who left. You are defined by clarity, resilience, and direction. What supports you now is aligned with who you are becoming, and nothing that walked away was meant to arrive where you are going. My beloved child, now you stand at a place where reflection turns into quiet authority. You are no longer learning this lesson, you are living it. The distance that once felt uncomfortable now feels necessary. You understand that not everyone is meant to witness your next chapter, because access is earned through alignment, not history. This awareness has matured you in ways comfort never could. See how your energy now speaks before your words. You no longer announce plans or seek confirmation. You move with certainty, and that certainty creates respect without effort. This is the outcome of walking forward without borrowed strength. When support disappeared, your inner foundation became solid. Nothing external can shake what is now internally anchored. Here is the truth that closes the cycle completely. The people who stopped supporting you did not slow your progress, they accelerated your awakening. Their absence removed dependency and revealed capability. You discovered that your vision did not need agreement to be valid. It only needed courage to continue. That realization reshaped your identity permanently. Do not mistake this calm for emptiness. This calm is power under control. It allows you to choose wisely, respond intentionally, and conserve your strength for what truly matters. You are no longer reacting to who is missing. You are responding to who you are becoming. That shift is everything. Let this final understanding remain steady within you. You were never meant to carry everyone forward. You were meant to move forward clearly. What stopped supporting you has already completed its purpose. What supports you now is your clarity, your discipline, and your unwavering direction. From this place, nothing essential can be taken from you again.